In front of me a DIY camera kit. It's basically a house to shed wireless bridge and it's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie, and it's particularly suitable for people who want calving cameras, folding cameras, lambing cameras set up directly off their own network. Okay, so what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to describe what you're going to get in the kit and the options you have, and then I'm going to talk about the alternatives you could use to this and why this is such a great solution. So the first thing is, at the heart of this is these Ubiquiti units here, and they form a thing called a wireless bridge. So you'll aim this unit over to this other unit here. So basically we get a Ubiquiti unit here. So this will be the sending side, and this is the receiving side. So on the sending side, we would have a Ubiquiti unit here, a 10 meter LAN cable here, a 1.5 meter LAN cable here that I have in the drawer. Sorry, it should be on display here. And we'll have a bracket and a pole for mounting it. And this will connect into your router in your house. And on the far end, we will have, again, the same Ubiquiti unit here, a 10 meter cable running down to the PoE unit that comes with it. And from there, we'll run from there via LAN cable directly over to our camera here, and we have choice of two cameras. So we can use this varifocal IP camera here, or we can use a PTZ. Now you use the varifocal one here if you had a shed where you just need to aim down and focus on a particular point. If you had a larger shed where you had a number of animals you were trying to monitor, you'd use the PTZ. The big advantage of the PTZ is you can control it directly from your phone, to zoom in, to rotate, and to cover a much larger area. Particularly if you had it in a large shed and mounted in a central location, you can do a full 360-degree rotation on it. And it also comes along with PoE injectors in a power unit. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and why we've added those in and why it'll make setting up the camera system so much simpler for you. As a matter of interest, we come along and we have a colour PDF you can print off, and it should be provided with the kit as well. And it just shows you exactly how everything goes together, how it snaps together. So, in terms of, we'll describe the problem people are trying to solve by this kit first of all. You have a situation where you have your house, you have power and broadband in it. You have your shed, let's say, 300 meters away. You just have power there, but you want to be able to monitor what's going on there from your smartphone. So you have three options in terms of overcoming that problem of no broadband in my shed. The first one is you can physically run a cable. If your shed was 20 meters away, I would say that's exactly the solution to go with. Physically run a cable between the two locations. If it was, 300 meters away, we could possibly still run a cable, trench it out, all the rest of it, but that'd be quite difficult. Another alternative that's quite popular is to come along and use something like a 4G router, put in a SIM card, have it on an independent network, link into it, and you can view it. The big disadvantage of that is the setup costs and the setup hassles, and also the fact that you're coming along and you're paying 20 euros a month normally, we'll say, to your local network thing, and your SIM card can go stale, you have to get a new card, etc., if you don't use it for a long period of time. So that's reasonably problematic. So where this is absolutely brilliant is it's creating a virtual link between your house and your shed so that it looks like and feels like that it's on the same network and you can access it as if it's on the same network. So let's just see exactly how it all clicked together. So we'll just use this as a demonstration of a router here. So we have a router here. We're going to take a LAN connection off it, and I'm going to plug it directly into the LAN input here. So we're feeding network connection from this into the PoE injector as part of the Ubiquiti unit. We'll also feed power in. So suddenly we have two separate inputs, but we have a single output marked PoE. And now the unit, the area that's going to sit outside, mounted on this bracket and aiming towards the shed, that's got a single cable input, and it's got two things inside that cable. It's got power, number one, and number two, it's got your broadband signal. And you've connected together with this 10 meter cable here, which should be more than sufficient for most applications. So now we've overcome the problem of getting the signal out of our router and aiming it down towards our shed. On the far end here, and I'm just going to take the PTZ out of the way here, and it's bracket as well. What we'll do here is, we want to come along and we want to pick up the signal here. So when we come to align this, we'll see this unit here will be marked sender, this will be marked receiver. And when we receive the signal here, we can adjust it here. There's 5 bars in the back. The closer and the better aimed they are towards each other, the higher the signal will be. And we just adjust to see the strongest signal we can get for our setup, okay? So we get this, we again use a 10 meter cable to run down to our PoE here. So we have the PoE here again with a power lead giving the power input, and also the broadband connection here from our camera directly over to our router, okay? But basically our local network connection. And we have this. So all of a sudden then we have our local connection here, and what we could do at that point is we could locally power the camera directly from a power unit and use, we'll say, another 10-meter cable to run from here. But the problem then is if we use this and do it this way, we have to have a power supply right next to where the camera is, and we thought that might be a little bit problematic for people. So we came along and we said what we'll do is we're going to use a thing called these small little PoE injectors, okay? So how this works is we'll come along, we'll take out our LAN output here, and I'll connect in my power unit here, and we'll grab our 10-meter cable, which is here. So for the ease of this demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reuse our 1.5 cable from over here. So just imagine this is a 10-meter cable. And this cable here also has two things inside it. It has the power that's coming from here. It has the LAN connection that's coming from our aerial on the roof. And we come along and we'll plug this directly into this PoE splitter here. So all of a sudden we have the LAN connection goes in here, and we'll have a little power connection here to push directly in. And all of a sudden we have both power and network connection directly to this. So we have a router inside, and this is now physically connected via our wireless bridge. Now we have one more video in the series, and that just goes in complementary with this. And it's the same for all Hikvision HiWatch products, all the rest of it here, which is the brand of our cameras. And that is basically showing how to set this up so on your local area network, so you can set it up for remote accessing via your phone. And that's an incredibly simple video. But this really has taken an enormous amount of mystery out of how to set up folding, calving cameras, etc. Because it just works so brilliantly well. And it's so clever in terms of the overall setup. And the fact that we've pre-configured the Ubiquiti thing is the key thing here. The fact that the bridges are pre-configured is the key thing, and why this will work so well, and why it's now makes CCTV setup something that can be tackled in the DIY field.